what a pleasure to meet you, Louis, and congratulations on such a wonderful job in this movie.
Thanks.
And I wanted to ask you to start off, when you first read the material, or had you read the book, what did you find about Conor that you connected with?
Yeah, well, when I first got asked to audition and went to audition, I didn't have access to the script, so I immediately went and sought out the book and read that. I suppose it really, I looked at experiences in my own life that could try and make me understand what Conor was going through, but also what really attracted me to it was that, a lot of people can relate to Conor's story, not just kids but adults as well, have all experienced some sort of loss in their life, and that's what really made me think that, if this movie was done right, people would really like it.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was done right, that's for sure, and you did such a spectacular job.
Thank you.
Wow, you were in Pan, but this is your first big, leading role.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not too much stress here, but
Yeah.
how daunting was it for you? I mean, you're in pretty much every scene, my friend.
Yeah. When I, first heard I got the part, I was extremely excited, as you would imagine, and ecstatic, really, but I was also a little bit nervous as well. There's an element of nervousness there because it's such a big role to undertake, and it's, really, there's lots of high emotional scenes. So definitely, I was a bit nervous about would I be able to really get in touch with that.
And of course, it's not like you had Liam Neeson in the room,
Mm-hmm.
but you did have his voice projecting, so that it was. But how did that make it easy for you? Because you're not acting really against anything, maybe a bobblehead or something. But how did that work for you?
Well, it would either be Liam's recording or indeed my acting coach, the acting coach for the film, Ben Perkins. He was really helpful. But what they did do is they made a monster's face. That was really helpful for me, rather than just acting to nothing. Having that there, that's in the film. It's extremely realistic. It had all sorts of mechanics in it, so the mouth would move and everything like that. So having that there in front of me was extremely beneficial.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you how you summoned up all those emotions, because you go through a lot in this movie, and I would think that at the end of the day you were pretty exhausted.
Yeah. Well, when we do those high emotional scenes in the film, I definitely think that, when you're screaming and shouting at something, all those other emotions just start coming out. You can't really control it at that point when you just completely let loose. But as you said, at the end of the day, there was an adrenaline rush for a bit, but when I got home, I would just, fall right into bed.
No going out with your friends or anything. Sorry guys, I'm going to sleep. I had a tough day at work today.
Yeah.
And then your relationship with Felicity, who plays your mom. Wow, what a special bond. And it's so awful what you have to go through in this film, what she's going through. But how did you kind of connect with her? Did you get together before the film and hang out just to establish a bond?
Well, me and Felicity, because obviously the two characters are extremely close to each other, so what we did do was we went out, had a couple of sort of bonding sessions, I suppose. Before we started shooting, we went out to the zoo together. We had a day out in the zoo, just me and her, and that was really good fun actually. But we also went to a theme park and went on a roller coaster and stuff. So, doing all that was really helpful.
Yeah, that's the best way to bond, going on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So, being such an emotional film, I want to, everybody. No, there's not a dry eye in the house when people see this movie, but it's fabulous, people. But what was the first movie, if you remember, made you cry? What makes you cry?
Well, I suppose, the first movie that really made me cry, when I was younger, I suppose you cry a lot easier at movies. I remember when I was 3 or 4, I was watching The Jungle Book, and I cried at that, because I was just why does he have to go back? That sort of thing. But so that Jungle Book was probably the first movie that made me cry, but it's nothing compared to the emotional levels of this, obviously.
No comparison, but still, I get it. I totally
Yeah.
get it. Well, congratulations to you. You did
Thank
such
you.
a spectacular job in this. Really, hats off to you. And I know we'll be talking to you for many years to come, my friend. Very good job.